Hola, soy Andrea y bienvenidos a la segunda edición de Buenas Noticias en Easy English. Este canal es para personas que están aprendiendo inglés y que quieren mejorar sus habilidades de escuchar y hablar de una manera tranquila y amigable. This channel is for people who are learning English and who want to improve their skills in a fun and relaxing way. What better way to learn English than through happy news and stories from all around the world? El inglés es sencillo. El hablar es lento y claro. Y las ideas son positivas y interesantes. No necesitas entender cada palabra. You don't need to understand every word. El objetivo es relajarse, relax, escuchar, listen y disfrutar. Enjoy inglés mientras se aprenda algo esperanzador. Don't forget to look at the show notes for more information. And eventually I'll include transcripts in English and Spanish and other fun things to help you practice and improve your English. And also remember, you can turn on the auto-generated Spanish subtitles, subtítulos en español, if you need help following along. You can also adjust the speed, ajustar la velocidad of the video itself in the settings area. Okay, that's enough notes for today. Let's get started. Today I have a really good news story about smell, olor, smell, and it's truly amazing. Scientists are helping museum visitors smell history, not read about history, not see history, but smell history. How is that possible? Scientists study something called biomolecular archaeology. Arqueología biomolecular, biomolecular archaeology. It sounds complicated, but the idea is pretty simple. Very old objects like jars, fabrics, or tools keep tiny chemical traces, rastros, traces. These traces are like a fingerprint, una huella, a fingerprint. A fingerprint is a special mark that stays for a long time, even after thousands of years. These tiny chemical traces tell us how people lived and even how things smelled in the past. Recently, scientists studied ancient jars from ancient Egypt, Egipto Antiguo. These jars were about 3,500 years old, 3,500 años. They belonged to an important woman named Senetne. Inside the jars were special mixtures used for mummification. Mummification. Mummification is the process of preserving a body after death. The mixtures were called balms. That's B-A-L-M-S, bombs. We don't pronounce the L in that word. It sounds just like the word bomb, like woo, bomb. It's the same pronunciation, but different spelling. Bomb, woo, is spelled B-O-M-B-S. So anyway, a bomb is a thick mixture, like a paste, una pasta, a paste. Scientists studied the ingredients inside this bomb, this paste, and they found beeswax, cera de abeja. They found oils and fats, aceites y grasas, oils and fats. They found resin, resina, resin. Resin is a sticky substance that comes from trees. They also found bitumen, bitun natural, bitumen. Bitumen is a thick, dark, and sticky substance that looks like black glue, pegamento, glue. It's similar to tar, asfalto, tar. It can come naturally from the ground. All these ingredients together, mixed together, create a strong and meaningful smell. Not a scary smell, and not a smell of death, but a smell that's connected to belief and ritual and respect, as the ancient Egyptians had when they were burying their dead. And this is something else that's very interesting. Many of these materials came from a very far way away from Egypt, and that shows that the ancient Egyptians had trade routes, rutas comerciales, trade routes. They bought and exchanged things with other regions. So this smell tells us more than just how something smelled. It tells us about technology, trade, and daily life, vida cotidiana, daily life. Now here is the modern part, and it's really interesting. Scientists work together with perfumers, perfumistas. A perfumer is a person who creates perfumes and smells. The scientists, the researchers, gave them the chemical information about these substances in the jars, and the perfumers were able to recreate the ancient smell. So today, people can actually experience what ancient Egypt might have smelled like. Museum curators, curators, are using this idea in museum exhibits. A curator is a person who designs and manages museum exhibits, exhibiciones. So how do museum visitors actually smell the smell? Well, in the museum, sometimes visitors are given a card, a little piece of paper or a tarjeta, and they put the smell like in a perfume counter and they smell it off the card. Or sometimes they infuse the air with the smell by using like a vaporizer, and the smells come out of this like aromatherapia machine, I think. Well, anyway, why is this important? Why is this important to us? Well, have you ever smelled something and you just remember something from your childhood? You just, like, the smell itself just makes you remember something or a person. You smell a perfume or just something and you think of the person, you think of a moment in your life. That's why smells are very important. They help us imagine real people, real things, not just objects, and in this story, not just mummies. Smells are part of our history, and it's part of what makes us feel human. And I think that's really good news. I like the way that science is also helping us keep the past connected to our present in such a personal way, a realistic way. So, we're learning a new language. We learn a lot with our ears, with our eyes, and we're learning a lot with our mouths, but it's good to remember that we can also learn with our nose. Anyway, this story comes from the Good News Network, photos by SWNS, and is based on scientific research published in Frontiers in Environmental Archaeology. I just realized there are no photos, so we don't have to worry about the photos, but anyway, thank you again for coming to the second episode of Buenas Noticias in Easy English. Please let me know what you liked, what you didn't like, what's working, what's not working. Remember, we're working together to make this channel a success. And if you like what you see, please do like and subscribe and tell your friends. Thank you and adios! Bye!